Hey, we are here with some more Terra Invicta going into part 2 of today's episode, and we're we're here to go to the Birdcage. So you guys just like show up to the place? Do you try to sneak in? Do you have are you wearing disguises? Like what? How careful are you being about?
Vryn's
arriving?
always wearing a disguise.
That is true. That is true.
Well, I guess the question is just because it's been a week. So the Birdcage is not allies with the Blood Sisters. Is that right?
Yeah. So I will read this off. Located in the heart of the city, this small gray tower is decorated with luridly colored flags and numerous bas-relief carvings of stylized harpies armed with whips and daggers. The Birdcage, also known as the Crooked Spire, is a stone townhouse topped by a spire built of cheap timber. It has developed a singular twist over the years, but has so far avoided total collapse. You guys know that after Tiralandi, the leader of the one who owned the Porphyry House, the place where Anna went, Anna knows this at least. After she claimed Porphyry House as her own, she lifted the previous owner's ban on competing brothels somewhat. All new brothels had to be licensed by the Porphyry House, and the licensing fees were steep. A group of harpies known as the Sisters of Lamentations had the money though, and they founded this relatively new building as one of Scuttle Cove's other bordellos. They quickly learned that they couldn't compete with Porphyry House, and today their services have shifted to a sort of information retrieval rather than pleasure. For the right price, minimum of 100 GP per day, the Sisters of Lamentation claim they can extract any secret, no matter how deeply hidden or guarded, from any living creature. If they can't extract it from the living, they guarantee answers from the dead. The Birdcage is run by a cabal of harpies, all of whom pluck their bodies bald and adorn their flesh with tattoos and horrific piercings, often little more than nails driven into their hands, feet, and scalps to enhance their fearsome appearance. There you go. That's what you know about the Birdcage. Here's you'll see them soon, but here's what they look like as a token, just to give you an image.
I don't know if I want the image. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yep, it's about how I imagined it.
Honestly, slightly less bad than I imagined.
I used to be a Broadway singer.
Yeah.
So basically, somebody paid them to have Leandra interrogated.
Either that, or she tried to infiltrate it, and they just captured her.
And they just captured her,
or whatever.
That
right?
Makes
Yeah.
Sense. Yeah. Sure.
Like they have like it's harpies, so they probably have like charmed slaves, and
right.
they have enchantment magic that they use to do their thing. So
if they have enchantment magic, like charming kind of stuff, would it be beneficial to have
Benedict to do his thing?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's a good thought.
On at least one person.
I think it should be you, because you're probably going to be doing the most talking. I guess right?
It depends on how you're going about this, right?
Your lead.
You could show up as a Blood Sister person, right? And then go from there, right? That could be a legitimate angle to go for.
I mean, I would be
feel like
talking if I'm lying is the thing.
Yeah. We could also do Bren. He can disguise himself as anything.
I could make myself look like a harpy because they have wings, but I could disguise myself as pretty much whatever I want to.
It's probably makes more sense to disguise yourself as someone who would be a customer, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what does a customer look like?
I mean, I don't know. It's up to you.
Probably a loser who's down on his luck.
But I feel like definitely the best way to go about this is going together and coming with some kind of agenda.
Yeah,
that's false. I don't want
someone else.
I don't want to just infiltrate this place. Like, I don't think, because then that's just going to draw attention to us.
Should I just go as a Blood Sister person who got told they might have information about where the Crimson Fleet hideout is, and then actually pay them for that while other people investigate where Leandra could be?
I think that's fair.
Like, do we have actual money that I could just pay? Like,
we've got party gold for sure. Yeah, I mean, you could pay them 100 gold.
I mean, do we feel like that's kind of worth it? Because I feel like that would give us access to the building.
Yeah, you could come as customers. Are you?
We
sorry,
have 16,000
Yeah,
gold,
yeah.
so I'm fine with
1,000?
16,000 gold. So, and I don't know that we took all that gold with us. Probably,
it's probably on the ship, but yeah.
But I'm assuming we probably took. Well, no, we had no. We did take some of it though because we have some of
shopping.
it because we went shopping and we sold stuff. So
yeah, it's perfectly reasonable. Are you saying you would pretend to be customers and hire them to?
I mean,
fake.
I'm thinking not even pretend. Like, just
here's 100 gold. Tell us what you know where the Crimson Fleet hideout is.
Be a customer, find the information out that we want to find out, but then that gives us access and a reason to like be around the building.
Yep. Okay.
And then maybe I can sneak off
and find Leandra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be yourself as a blood sister.
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is anyone else taking any cares to disguise yourselves or?
Always.
I mean, obviously, you have your pirate outfits and stuff, and I think you guys made a disguise kit roll at some point here.
We did. Yeah, we got a 22, I think.
I was like, it was really good. I promise.
Ren could go as like a totally different person. I think that makes sense.
I could just pick a random person from the crowd and look like them. But I have to be wearing my clothes. I could, might as well go with someone else.
Yeah,
just
I don't think
someone
it hurts,
random, like from Far Shore or something.
That's true. I could just go somewhere
Far Shore,
like,
or even Far Shore's probably the best.
Yeah, someone random from a different city, not somebody you've seen here. Because what if they know that person?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Tom!
You owe us a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a luck save.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys,
That's what it would be.
Guys, it needs to be one of their customers. I'll go looking like Avner.
God.
There you go. Yeah, show us Abner. Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my
Fred's
god,
gonna look like
you're
Avner.
just like ruining his reputation everywhere you go.
He does that himself.
Benedict is going to cast Iron Mind on someone. This is a spell you can concentration up to an hour. So you only do it on one person, but who would like Iron Mind? One willing creature you touch becomes immune to psychic damage and mind altering effects for the spell's duration.
I think it should be Anna. She's the one heading this mission.
That's true. Yes.
Makes sense.
I personally,
that makes sense.
And I think Benedict, it would make sense for Benedict to cast it on her because he's like, yeah, we've both been mind controlled.
We do not want Anna being mind controlled again. I'd like to think maybe at this point Benedict just cast this on you first thing in the morning every.
Well, it
only lasts an hour.
I know. If it didn't, that would just be hilarious. You just like make sure you're never mind controlled. Okay, so he does that.
He's just
I guess
he does it as she's going to sleep every night.
Yeah, I guess the question is if like I almost feel like I probably shouldn't go because they're like really like a fire genasi is just so obvious at this point, and they're looking for me. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. That's the question. Do you stay away? Do you try to go with different disguises? Do you try to like be even better with your disguise? Do you? I mean, I guess.
Like, I don't want to split the party because I feel like splitting the party is a terrible idea at this point. But
you could just like wait nearby.
Right, but
what are some nearby shops, Caleb?
Let's look at the map.
Because like maybe Audrey and I can just like hang out on the side.
Yeah, I mean, there's like random buildings you could stand by nearby. The closest like thing, like named thing, is the mausoleum. A building known. It's a tall building known only as the mausoleum that is owned by the Hopping Prophets. People, the thing you would know about the mausoleum is this is where the random dead bodies that happen in Scuttle Cove get dragged. So by the Hopping Prophets, you're not sure what they do with them, but this is where they're apparently the grave diggers of the city. They drag them into this strange building.
Is there grass next to the building?
Is there what?
Grass next to the building?
I don't think so.
Oh, I
Probably
was
just
wondering
mud.
if they could lie in the grass next to the mausoleum.
They could not fulfill the reference that you're making right now.
I don't.
But yeah, there's like random built like houses and stuff and other stuff nearby. You You just hide somewhere. Honestly, Audrey, you guys could be invisible too, or like on a rooftop or something like that.
That's fair. Yeah.
Up to you.
And we probably would because we don't want to get spotted.
Is Tolan coming with you? He can, and it might make sense if he does.
I think he should. I mean, it's his friend, his member. So, and I don't think he would. If we tell him she's potentially alive, I think he'd want to go. No,
Sure.
or is he just like?
No, he would.
Or is he just like in such despair? Like, no, I can't do it. You guys take care of it.
No, I think he's fine.
Okay.
I can only turn 2 people invisible at a time.
I mean, honestly, it could be you and Takewee.
No, Takewee.
You and Takewee.
I wonder. I feel like Tolan should maybe go in with Anna because like he'd be able to like look for her. You know,
that makes sense
I don't know.
Do we want Benedict to stay outside or come with?
Mm.
Having a healer nearby probably makes sense.
Well, yeah, no, we definitely want our healer.
Who is sneaky? Who?
Not me.
Mainly Audrin.
Because like obviously I'm sneaky, but I am kind of the face of the operation. So
maybe Audrin should go with. I mean, he's got the investigation, so maybe Audrin should.
Right.
Go in
that's
with
I'm
you.
like maybe he should go in with me.
Maybe it might be Tolan and Takewee who stay out because they're just like the punchy fighter types. Right?
Well, but Benedict too, though.
Yeah. You guys could be the support squad that breaks down the door if things go wrong, right?
So do we keep them in? Well, so no invisibility then.
I mean, you could be invisible.
I was about to say, if anybody's going to be invisible, I think
right? You could just sneak in behind them and then go do invisible investigation, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think you probably should, right? Because then you can find where she is.
I think that's a pretty good plan. Like Tolan and Takewee and Benedict will wait near as they can get, ready to like bust in if they need help,
right?
And the other 3 will go sneak in, do a social /
I'm going to walk in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like it.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Let's have Vren, Anna.
Because then it's 3-3, and I think that makes sense. So,
Anna, you are going as yourself. You're not trying to disguise yourself any further, correct? And
correct.
You're just going to announce yourself as a blood sister agent, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a roll here at some point. I don't think it happens now. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, so the Birdcage. You've arrived. Let me find this. So there is a entrance. It's open. Like you can just walk into this like entrance room. There is a random like looks like a human slave of some sort. He doesn't look like this. This is just like the commoner token. You guys can walk into this room, no problem. The door's open. The walls of this garishly painted chamber depict scenes that would make even the most brazen streetwalker blush. A fine oak cabinet stands to the left of the entrance door, and a low table with a bottle of port and several crystal glasses stands next to a few padded chairs near a door to the south. So this door is obviously leading in to the Birdcage. There is human slave looks like. He has a large ledger on a desk, and he basically just says, "State your name and your business."
My name is Anna.
He looks up. Should that name be significant?
I'm a blood sister.
His eyes go wide slightly. He says, well, we don't need to pay fees anymore to the blood sister, so I'm not entirely sure why you're here.
I'm here since this is the place to get information.
Very well. Would you like to make an appointment?
Oh, I didn't know. I guess if the appointment has to be made, was there a walk-in? I didn't know if it was a walk-in.
Yeah. He shakes his head. He's like, no walk-ins. Things are quite busy here. I can take your name, and the sisters can. If you return tomorrow, the sisters will let you know whether or not your appointment has been accepted.
Oh, So,
Or he probably doesn't put it that way. He probably says, I can put your name down in my ledger here, and the sisters will look over your case, look over your request. And what would that request be?
So I have to tell you the information that I want? I thought I was more directly dealing with the sisters. I wasn't aware that I would be having to deal with the
Sisters of Lamentation take enormous pride in the security of their facility. Any secrets that... we do not let secrets escape this facility. If you would like to give me your name and what you desire, in a general sense, you don't have to give up any secrets of your own. The Sisters of Lamentation will look over it.
I would like to make an insight check on him.
Sure.
31?
He's not like being weird necessarily. He's kind of slightly intimidated by you, and that's mainly the reason he's like stuttering and stuff. He basically, it's exactly as he said. He's not lying to you or anything, and not trying to pull one over on you. This is apparently how it goes.
Okay then. Anna, looking for information about Crimson Fleet whereabouts.
Information on the Crimson Fleet. Dangerous business, that. He writes it down. And he says, very well, Anna of the Blood Sisters. The Sisters of Lamentation will be back with you shortly. Come back tomorrow around the same time.
Do I pay like any sort of deposit or anything?
Payment can be discussed at your next appointment.
Okay.
He nods and he says, before you leave, please take some of the wine. Have a sip, sit down, relax your feet. Scuttle Cove is a dangerous place.
He says as he offers strange drink.
I mean, does my insight carry? Is this just like...
Yeah, this is just what they do. Like, it's a courtesy. It's literally like a normal like courtesy. Have some wine. He's not trying to poison you.
Vren, are you going by a different name, or are you just going by Vren?
Oh, go by Avner.
Vren.
Oh, you're
no,
Avner.
I'm not Vren. I am
Yes, you're
Avner
Avner.
Veracci.
So I just kind of look at you and I go, Avner, would you like a drink with to sit down and have a drink with me?
Okay, given what we said about how Vren likes his wine, would he be able to get an idea if this is cheap wine? Or like good wine?
Make a check of some
This place
sort.
is very locked down. I don't really know.
I don't know. Like to know good wine, history, let's say.
Yeah.
Oh, not insight? Oh.
No, insight is like for people.
Insight into the wine. Is this wine
Is the
lying
wine lying?
to me? Is it cheap wine and it's lying to me
Exactly.
that it's expensive?
Yeah,
but
that could
I'm
be
not
history.
good at history.
Yeah.
Well, you might not be a sommelier.
No, I have
then.
no idea.
Yeah.
Can I make a history check to know if it's good wine?
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe Vren.
That's a 6.
The label, it looks like an import from the city of Calabar. It has a label depicting a drunken nymph on it. It's unopened, and there's like 4 crystal glasses set nearby. But yeah, you don't know anything necessarily about the vintage or like how good quality it is or anything like that.
Can I roll?
Sure. Yeah.
I just
imagine
think it would be really funny if
You're invisible, but you actually have your nose right in the glass as I'm pouring it.
Sniffing. Jordan, you know that it's worth 50 GP. So it's that well.
Oh, I know
that
this
good.
stuff.
I imagine Vren's just so used to the cheap wine, he's like, I don't know the good stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so
one last thing, Audrin, you can tell that the door to the south that like leads in is locked with a sturdy, pretty good lock. You can make a roll to like guess at what the DC would be to unlock it if you'd like.
Let's do that. Let's find out.
Yeah, go ahead and make a investigation check. Whoo! Double crits.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a DC 30 lock. Like they went all out for like the finest lock possible on this door.
So basically
you could try to sneak in through like a window or something else. Like you could like try to climb up, but like this is like the ground floor entrance and like the one door.
Okay. Is it red wine that we're drinking?
It's port, so whatever that is.
If I accidentally roll this is not me attempting anything. I'm just getting a feel for my.
Yeah, it's a
proficiency with
sweet
this.
red wine. What were we saying, Jordan?
He was just seeing what
I was
his
just getting a
bonus
feel.
is.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if
Wait,
I
how do you have
roll
a plus 20? Wait, what? What? Also, why does it say lock picking? Is it like is your proficiency that you roll?
5 is the proficiency.
Well, I'm just curious why it's named lock picking.
I don't know. Jordan must have made it.
It was. It says tool.
Yeah, I
Lock
think it's
picking.
Oh, okay. I think thieves
Yeah.
tools is what I usually have it written down, but
Well, I also have thieves tools in here.
But you can be proficient in like lock picking kind of thing and not in thieves tools.
oh, not in thieves tools.
I feel
Thieves tools
like-
are I see. Thieves tools are like a more broad proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that makes
think
sense.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you almost got it.
Okay.
But that's
So-
rolling a 9.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to pour wine for myself and Abner,
Uh-huh.
and we can be starting to enjoy some wine. How long does it seem like? Do I know how long it's appropriate to sit in here and drink wine?
Probably until you're finished with the moderate glass of wine that you have.
And we
Okay.
really don't detect any nothing foul, no foul play.
No,
Definitely.
yeah. At least with the insight, certainly he was not like trying to poison you. You could make a like perception check if you'd like to like taste the wine and be like, is there poison
And
in
it's-
this?
But it's also just like this small little room that we're just
Yeah.
sitting and drinking wine, and he's just sitting there.
That's it.
Okay. Can I, as I'm pouring wine, somehow like, oops, and like spill it on myself?
Mm-hmm. You can certainly do that. Is there more to it than that?
Well, because then I want to like freak out that I got red wine on my white
As
clothes.
a
yeah.
distraction. So
Okay, and what's the intent behind this? Like, what are we hoping happens here?
So
that he unlocks the door and comes around, and then in that moment that I can.
I'm-
Well, so he's here. He's not like behind the door. He's like on
Right.
in a desk in the room with you.
Well, I want to see like if he has anything that he can offer me, like napkins, or does he have? I don't know if it actually works, but the whole like if you put white wine on a red wine stain, can it like helps? Like, can you get me white wine so we can pour it on? I can't stain my robes.
There could be something like that. That makes sense to me. Good, make a deception check. See how well it goes.
Okay.
Also, Caleb, the part of the reason why that check is so high is because of my gloves of thievery.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm,
Oh man, almost a crit. He got a 5 though
Okay.
on his insight.
That's I
Even if he had gotten the credit, it would have worked. Yeah.
crit succeeded on deception. Okay. I
Yep,
want
so
him
Anna,
to like
you like anything you're doing here, he's gonna fall for immediately.
Yeah, so I'm trying to, I don't know if it'd be better for Audrin for like for him to have to go back into the main part, like if there's a way to either distract him for long enough for Audrin to lockpick, or if he needs to like go back into the main building to like get something for me.
Yeah, I think he has standing orders not to open this door for
Okay.
anyone. So like
Yeah.
he would not I think even with a crit deception, he's not opening that door.
Okay.
But so your best
Yeah.
bet is going to be like, yeah. And so I think he like looks around and he like has no napkins. You're freaking out. You're like, you spilled this on me. And he
This
literally
is gonna stain so badly. Oh my gosh. This is gonna ruin my reputation of the Blood Sisters. It's kind of like the whole thing, like I'm the newest hot thing at the Porphyry house. And it's supposed to be a whole thing. Like I'm so naive
Pure as-
and unblemished.
yeah, white
and now
as
I
snow,
have this
yeah.
blemish on my robes. It's gonna ruin the whole thing.
Yep.
Oh my
So I think
gosh.
he like frantically tries to find something to do it with, and he literally just like grabs his own shirt. He takes his shirt off and like is frantically like, please,
Oh my gosh.
don't
What
tell
are
the
you
Blood
doing
Sisters."
to me? Are you trying to assault me right now? This costs a lot of money.
Take the shirt. Ah! Yeah.
Okay,
and
so I've
Jordan,
made a distraction for you if you want to try and get in.
go for it. Try your lockpicking, Audrey.
I like the idea that this is she's done so well with deception. Even Vren thinks she really did something.
Yeah, he's just like, what? It isn't really that big of a deal.
Okay, now if I could just figure out a way to get advantage on this roll.
Ren's also probably like, you did what?
Right, yeah, he's just like, yeah, you're right, Anna. This is an offense.
Okay.
No, like,
I
you
was like-
became a prostitute? When?
Right.
Oh, right. Forgot about that part.
Can I share of the first time Audrin successfully was on mission with the
The neighborhood watch.
neighborhood watch? Thank you. With the neighborhood watch, and things actually went according to plan for the first time.
Please do.
So we were scouting out this manor that we had some suspicions. There were some we were kind of doing a Robin Hood kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to get back some of the things that the rich folks at this manor were taking from the poor. So we're like, okay, we're going to go in there. And so the Red Queen, Alicia,
yeah, like
or Alicia,
whatever the
Something like
Portuguese pronunciation of that would
Yeah.
be, or whatever. Yeah.
her and Silver Fox were posing as snotty rich people and went through a very similar routine that's going on here. And so, but they were making it more, like, it was way more overplayed, and they were getting more and more people involved, and like people were getting super distracted somewhere else. And Audrin wasn't invisible the whole time. So he had to do this not invisible, right? So with him doing it invisible now, he's like really calm and collected. Like, this is
no problem. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Cool. Take that advantage.
Boop-a-doop.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
good thing you had it. I think a 37 works. You didn't break 40, but
Too bad we didn't have a bardic to break 40.
I know, I was thinking about that too. I was like, man, I should have given one of you guys a bardic, but oh well.
It's fine.
Yeah, we could.
And so, Audrin, is your goal here to just sneak in and close the door behind you, basically?
Yeah, like it was never even opened in the first place.
Right. So now I think you need to make a stealth check with advantage against his like
Passive
D20.
perception?
Yeah, I guess we'll just see his passive perception, which is a 10. Wow, I mean, you even rolled a yeah, I guess you had advantage though. Yeah, 26. Cool. Yep.
I was about to say, he's also really not perceiving anything but me freaking out
Yep.
super well in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna maybe say like a disadvantage or something, but either way, you succeed handily. You slip in, and the door closed behind you. And we'll say like it's because it's a fancy lock, like it automatically resets itself, like after as the door closes, no matter what. Like, and so, I mean, we don't have to say that. It just depends. Like, if he looks at it, it will be
Well,
unlocked.
I know, it's just scary because then how is he going to get out?
Up to
I
you.
have my ways.
What would you prefer, Audrin? You're the master of this sort of thing.
So
I think this would be up to your 37. You have complete control over whether or not it locks behind you or whether or not it stays unlocked. You could even, honestly, say it's unlocked, but it looks locked.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think that makes.
So
the
if he does try to open the door, like it will just pull open, but he will probably
Right,
try the
but-
key first. Anyway.
Right, but that and like if he thinks that it's locked and it's not locked, then he might be like, "Oh no, how long?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been here all day and this hasn't been locked. Whoa, I'm in big trouble. I can never let this get out." Right?
Yeah, maybe. Either way, you sneak into the birdcage. So let's we'll go ahead and reveal this here. Doing this the old-fashioned way. With
I'm really trying to channel Avner right now, causing such a ruckus for something that I did myself.
Yep. All right, so you're in this room here, the main room. And what you see is...
Oh, this place is long.
Yeah. This room is a vast space, a garishly painted chamber of great height that seems to consist of the entire central mass of the building. The walls are decorated to a height of 30 feet with paintings of an erotic nature that leave nothing to the imagination. The interior of the spire above is a tangled network of beams and supports. So basically, there's this like squat building that's like the main building here, and then above it, like the roof has been taken off, and there's like a wooden like tower that's been built on top of this building. And the interior of the spire above is a tangled network of beams and supports. 4 huge oak beams extend upward into the cathedral-like space, rising around a huge birdcage made of metal and crystal that dangles from the rafters by several iron chains and creaking ropes. The chamber's floor is thickly carpeted, and a balcony runs around the edge of the room at a height of 15 feet, granting access to several narrow doorways. You also see that there's doors down here as well. To your left and right. Throughout, you see a couple of, let me see. You see a couple of like human slaves, or I guess they don't necessarily have to be humans, but like commoner type people, no one of particular import, kind of mulling around the main chamber off into other rooms or whatever. And then let me roll a d3 real quick. You see 2 harpies, one of which is in the rafters above, just kind of like looking over the space, right? Like, eye and stuff. And then one of them is up next to the cage and is like tormenting someone inside, or like poking something and being like, right? Like, and they're ugly and terrible looking, like, super creepy. But yeah, there's the side rooms in which you hear various and interspersed like screams and moans, some of pleasure, most of pain. But yeah, where do you go? What do you do?
First of all, do I see or hear anyone familiar?
Not immediately, not in this like main room. There are there's a door right here, and there's a door. Oh, I'm in the GM layer. There's a door right here, and there's a door right here, and then there is a staircase up to the balcony that kind of rounds the upper level.
And this is a basketball player in the center, right?
It does kind of look like that, doesn't it? No, it's just a commoner.
It does look like a basketball player.
I know. Random like humanoid like slaves that look like they're probably charmed in one way or another, right, by the harpies, doing tasks and milling about.
Like playing basketball, apparently. Okay.
Yeah. There's obviously a hoop just like right on the balcony,
Practicing your free throws.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I can't see in the cage right now.
No, yeah, it's like directly above you. And
Okay.
it's like 30 feet up, so.
I mean, you can fly.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly.
You can just fly up,
and, yeah, I'm just gonna fly up and see if anyone's in the cage.
All right, let me double check real quick the harpies to see if they have any like special noticing abilities of any sort.
Vision, like true sense or something.
Yeah, exactly, like true seeing or whatever. It doesn't look like it. So they don't notice, and you already got a 26 on itself, so you slip up into the rafters easily enough. Let's see. Oh, here's a note, guys. I forgot. This is like layer effects that are happening here. As a note for here and out, while we're in the birdcage, insight checks have disadvantage, and all deception and persuasion checks have advantage. So,
does that affect me with my mind thing?
It does.
Interesting.
Wait, it checks against us.
Or I see what you're saying. Mind affected. Yeah, probably not then. Yeah. Yeah, we'll say no.
Wasn't sure.
Emily. That makes sense. I think you also notice a couple of crows around the rafters here. Evil-looking crows. Just double checking. Anything else that's important?
I feel like Danny Phantom right now.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
fair enough.
invisible
He has
and floating.
Yeah, floating around, checking things out, investigating. Cool. So, you're gonna go right up to the birdcage.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly up, just not like right up to it, but like have a little bit of distance from it. But I want to be able to see.
Sure. This hanging birdcage is huge, some 30 feet high and 15 feet in girth. The iron bars are covered with dozens of ragged barbs, and manacles hang from several places. Whips, hooked chains, knives, leather cords, and other devices for torture sit on metal shelves here and there. The cage floor is a filthy tangle of reeking rags and bones. Near the top of the cage sits a smaller cage, only 5 feet across and just as tall. In this smaller cage is a pile of rags arranged in what looks to be a nest. And there are figures in each of these cages. I'm going to real quick reveal more of this room so we can get gander at what's here. So you haven't been in any of the side rooms, but you are revealing the main chamber. And in the big bird cage is Sayori. Yep, she's beaten. All of her gear has been stolen from her. She doesn't. I think she is currently awake, being tortured by the harpy, right? And she's mainly just like, get away from me, get. Like, but she looks like super out of it. She's probably not even being coherent. She's probably like saying coherent words. There's something magical happening here. Like she's been feeble-minded or charmed or something, right? To like make her not able to fight back at all. There's obviously the Sister of Lamentation, who is currently tormenting her, next to her, up there. And then in the small cage, and this is, again, right above the big cage, in the small cage, there is what looks to you like a human infant or baby or like toddler at most, but it looks like this.
Oh,
right? Like it's some undead or golem or something terrible, but it literally looks like a human, like a really small human child.
Somehow worse than Renesmee, but I didn't know that could have happened.
Thank you for determining what my nightmares are going to be tonight, Caleb.
Yeah, it is not fun to look at. And it is kind of curled over a piece of parchment, frantically writing something down. He kind of mutters to himself in a horrible voice. Did you speak Abyssal, Audrey?
Is he saying all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy?
I just like that, like over and over again.
Yeah, it's definitely what his voice sounds like.
The answer is no.
Okay, so you don't understand what he's saying.
Common, Elvish, and Orc. None of which have come up besides Common.
Yeah. It literally seems to you like he's like the sort of language you would hear like a demon summoning, like right, like as he writes this down. This is terrifying to you. Yeah, there you go. That's easy. Anna's diversion is starting to wind down below.
I'm doing some breathing exercises, but in a still like kind of hysterical manner.
Okay. So I have an idea.
Guns a-blazing. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Please don't get yourself killed, Jordan, or captured.
Okay, hear me out.
Oh my god, what's Audrey gonna do?
Step 1 is to throw my Pokeball at Sayori.
Pokeball?
Put Sayori in my pocket.
When did you get a Pokeball?
Remember when we went shopping?
Wait, how does this thing work again?
Oh, this is sounding familiar now.
I'll link it.
Because I think it was less a Pokeball and more a like trap that like it just like ties them up in it. I don't think it like puts them in your like. I don't think it like shrinks it down, and because there's another magic item called an Iron Flask, which is a Pokeball. Where is this thing? Iron Bands of Bolaro.
Yeah.
Here, I got it. Let's see. It does look like one. You make a ranged attack. It's restrained. That's it. It doesn't
Okay,
shrink
so
them
I
down.
can't-
It just restrains them.
Well, never mind.
You could do it to the harpy though, or the child.
I mean, is the birdcage? Is it in a way that like he could slip through the
No,
bars?
no. That would
Well,
be
like
a very effective birdcage.
I was thinking.
It's like a door on it, right? Like you could wait until the harpy leaves and then like picklock and try to sneak her out of there or something. But
Is there a way for me to use this spell
blink.
in a way that it can also grab her?
Okay. Yep, you go into the ethereal plane. No. You can just pop. You could go into the cage with her by popping back out from the ethereal plane, but that's about it. Because it's just target itself. I mean, hey, Audrey, we can make an Arcana check if we really want to try something. It's just if it doesn't go well, it's going to go horribly wrong, and you'll be trapped in the
Wait a
ethereal
second.
plane forever.
Are there any windows that I can see from right here that go outside?
Probably,
s-
but I think they're boarded up. Like I think they'd be smart enough about like flying things that they're
Right, but I mean, so like, there's no way for me to visually see outside right now from right up here.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. It's just kind of meant to be a pretty secure place. So
Caleb, I'm having good ideas here, and you're not
I know, I'm
giving me-
sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's fine.
you could also just go back down and be like, okay, guys, here's the situation. What do we do? There's also side rooms you haven't explored yet. So anyone else have any ideas?
I have ideas of things that Ren could do if he was in there, but not
No
extremely
clue.
helpful right
The
now.
only thing Takeway's good for is smashing things. So
I mean, if I could get in there, I could, acrobatics something. I don't know. But I'm the distraction for now.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can get her out of there. Getting her out of there is not the hard part. It's after I get her out of there, getting us both out
Well,
of here.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. What if you, because you've only seen Siri, you haven't seen Leandra,
well,
right?
and that's the other thing too, is that you don't
So
want to.
do you just want to keep going to try and see if, can you
Yeah, you
go
can always
investigate further?
Yeah,
And it's
let
just
me-
a full recon mission? Because I have to
Yeah.
come back still.
Yeah. Let's. I'll continue to explore to find Leandra right now. However, Caleb, is there? We can figure this out later, maybe. But I was thinking, like, one of the things as an uncommon item is a spell scroll of level 2 or 3, second level or third level spell scroll. So there might be a spell scroll that I could use.
You're asking if you had one?
Well, that I would be able to get from the
somewhere around here.
no from the
Oh.
collectors, or not the collectors.
Bitter curtain.
Bitter curtain.
As your item. Yeah.
Isn't
that
that a
makes sense.
rented thing though? Can't exactly
Yeah.
rent a scroll.
It depends on what. If you had a good idea, I wouldn't shoot it down.
I'd have to find a second or third level spell that would work in this situation. For now, I'm gonna descend a level because there's no doors around here, right?
No, yeah.
And I'll descend a level.
And start looking around. How about you just go ahead and make an investigation check, see if you can find what you're looking for.
Yeah, maybe if I can hear her immediately on any of
Mhm.
these levels to start with. Let's see.
Yeah, 30 is pretty good. I think you find her pretty quickly. Leandra is in one of these. Not one of those. I think she's on the ground floor level in one of these side rooms here. Let me just reveal this whole thing at this point, honestly. There we go. One of these side rooms where it seems like the slaves like rest and sleep. So she's over here. It does look like her face, her expression is blank. She's mindlessly going about some task. She's like charmed or something, right?
I wonder if Audrin could cast invisibility on her and get her out, because it doesn't seem like she's right there.
You try it.
I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just like, oh,
Well,
man.
so that is one of the options because she's right there. Now, see, the other thing is I'd have to like You said she was just charmed, right?
You don't know for sure, but she does have like a blank stare.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I can figure out what's going on?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
I have any idea.
23. Honestly, not a whole lot much more than what I said, right? Like she looks obviously charmed, but what specific spell it might be? There's any number of things that would like keep someone here. She doesn't look feeble-minded. It looks more like maybe a combination of like a charmed person, maybe like a geisha or something.
Is there anybody else in here?
Not currently.
All right, so what I could do is I could try to dispel magic.
Have a moment.
I could try to dispel magic. That would only work if it's third or lower, it automatically ends. But if it's fourth or higher, then it has to be an ability check.
And that's if it's a spell, because if it's just an ability that they have, right, it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm. That is a thing to consider.
I would just be worried about you like
tipping
revealing yourself, and then like she like screams or something, and then we've just lost our cover. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I can do this in an area like, okay, so is this a closed door that I'm kind of just weaving in and out of?
Yeah, basically you go in this way and then
Okay. So dispel magic is worded as choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Okay, magical effect works then.
So if it says in range, though, it doesn't say that I have to see them.
Yeah.
There's nobody in here.
Currently, you have the slaves have been milling in and out of these rooms, and Leandra might leave in a second here, but you do have a moment where you find her in the back room here, and no one else is around.
Okay, so my thought of what I could do is step in here, cast Dispel Magic, turn myself invisible again, come in here, see if she's better, and then if she is, then I cast invisibility at a higher level to turn us both invisible,
and then
which will reactivate my invisibility and then get us both out.
That's not a bad plan.
So try
Any
it.
thoughts, comments, objections, concerns?
You're right. You don't have to see it. I could have sworn you had to be able to see it.
He just has to know the effect is there, right? So probably is happening is Audrin is investigating around. He carefully pries this door open a little bit, sees Leandra in there, like notices her gaze, and he's like, okay, I know what's going on here. And then he looks around, he's like, okay, no one's in this room. Do the thing, go in, right?
Yeah.
Might as well try, right? I mean, she's right there.
Yeah. I'll try it.
I mean,
Right.
who knows if there's another opportunity to get this far into this building again.
Right.
Yeah. All right. You dispel magic. The spell is 5th level, so you will have to roll.
Okay. So then the DC is 10
15.
plus 5. So yeah. DC 15, and I have to roll spellcasting ability, which is intelligence. So I just do an intelligence roll?
I believe so.
Is it your like? Do you add a like proficiency or anything like that?
I think
But
you have to add
double check
something.
Double check what your spell attack bonus actually is. Just to
But
make
I
sure.
mean, I think you add your spellcasting ability, which is intelligence already. So I think it's just the D20 plus the intelligence. I don't know if it's
Is it rolling with your spell attack bonus or what is it exactly?
No, it's not your
Okay.
spell
Sure.
attack bonus, I don't think.
Here,
I'm
let me
pretty sure
just-
it's just the ability score that your spell.
Make an ability check using your spellcast. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
just roll it.
Okay.
Just click intelligence. Yep.
Just click intelligence.
So it needs to be 15. Hey, nice.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you cast it. It doesn't immediately. She doesn't like gasp or like say anything. You walk in.
I peer in like I did before. Actually, I turn myself invisible, then peer in.
Do you have enough to turn invisible multiple times?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, just gonna be careful about it. All right. Yeah. So you cast invisibility. I assume invisibility doesn't have a component like a verbal component, does it? That would be stupid if it did.
VSM.
It does. Okay, that's weird. Yeah. So I mean, you have a moment here. No one else is around. Make another stealth check for me at disadvantage this time. And this isn't necessarily. Ooh, that disadvantage really screwed you over. So this does not mean that like the harpies all descend on you. It does mean that we see a shot of this guy right here. Here you speak. Right here you speak the spell, and then he just frowns, and he's like gonna very casually walk over, right? And movie style, like we know that Audryn has a moment here, but you do turn invisible. He's walking towards the door. You open the door to see Leandra. Absolutely nothing has changed about her. She doesn't seem like she's had some revelation or like a veil has been lifted or anything like that. She's just mindlessly doing the same task she was doing. You felt like you did something though. Like you clearly, you understand magic enough to know you dispelled a spell on her. What do you do?
And she's still just mindlessly going about her tasks.
Yep.
Give her a little peck on the cheek.
With my fist.
Your invisibility drops.
Well, I mean, if she's not going to be compliant with me, I can't just have her come along.
You don't really know what's going on.
Does she still seem charmed like she did before?
You're starting to second guess whether or not she was actually charmed. Like you know that you cast. You know what? Make an Arcana check for me. Let's just see if Audryn can figure this out.
Yeah. Jordan has a theory, but
A game.
20's not bad. Your guess is that there was obviously a spell cast on her, but it's possible that it was less like you're currently charmed and more like a geisha, right? Like if she tries to leave, she'll go unconscious or something, right? And so she's just assuming like there's nothing I can do. And even when the spell is lifted, she doesn't really know it's lifted per se, right?
I see. So she's just like
She's like despaired. She's like, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna,
okay.
I'm trapped here, right?
that's what I was thinking was
Yeah.
going on. That's what I was hoping.
So you think
I'm-
if you like talk to her, if you like step in and be like, Leandra, let's go, like she would maybe, she's gonna at least talk to you, right?
Yeah, so I think what Audryn is going to do is he's going to walk up to her and like in a like as quick as possible, split second, like drop his own invisibility and do this and say, we have to go now. And then like communicate that to her really quick, turn us both invisible while I'm holding her hand, and then drag her with me as best I can.
So, sorry, I think I missed the beginning of that. Are you you're saying anything to her, or you just?
Yes. I'm dropping my invisibility, appearing in front of her.
Yep.
Like doing this to like make sure she doesn't gasp or anything.
Okay. That was the part I missed. That's the part I missed because I wasn't looking at your camera.
Yeah. And then I tell her we have to go now, very quietly. And then I turn us both invisible while I'm like I grab her hand, turn us both invisible, and then like drag her by the hand.
Okay, make a difficult persuasion check. She does not know that the gaze has been lifted. She's gonna be like, if you don't convince her with your gaze like that you have it under control, she's gonna be like, I can't leave. Like, I'm going to die if I leave. Like, sorry, Jordan, or sorry, Audrey.
Yeah. I guess like I guess I should communicate Gaish gone or something like that. But,
even like, you're safe now. Come with me.
Yeah. I think that's part of.
Go and make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a perception check.
Oh.
You know what? Make a charisma. I was getting you to change what you were doing. It's getting you to change what you're doing.
Okay.
That does not count. You're welcome. Make a charisma save. This is less about. This is an instantaneous. Does she believe you or not? Right? Like, what's her first impression?
Come on!
3 rolls in a row that just failed. You had 3 chances, Jordan.
They got actually, I was gonna say they got progressively worse, but no, like.
Okay, so I mean, they did get progressively worse in numbers, at least. So you say this, right? And then you go and you turn both of you invisible and you grab her hand, right?
Well, grab her hand and then turn her invisible.
Right. And she just says, Audrey, I can't. And then you hear the door behind you open in the room. Everything okay in here? And like the door is open, but no one's there because you're both invisible. So he just like frowns. but yeah. What do you do? You can tell that she's going to resist you.
How healthy does she look?
Not very healthy. Like they basically what happened is they intentionally set this up so she has low enough hit points that the Gaish will just knock her unconscious immediately if she tries to flee. They've not let her recover her hit points properly.
What about the guy that just walked in?
He's a commoner. He has like 2 hit points.
You know what? I'm
Audrey, are you gonna thonk him?
Tell me what you guys think of.
Your invisibility is going to drop if you do that.
You have enough to cast invisibility again.
Yes.
Just burn through all your spells.
So hear me out.
Audrey's gonna get captured.
What if I do this?
Oh, a sleep spell. Yeah, that he
on both of them.
What's the range? 90 feet?
It's 90 feet, so there's people in the rest of the commoners start going to sleep too, right?
Does the guy at the front desk fall asleep?
Here's the question. Can you aim it or is it like within 90 feet of you?
Within 20 feet of a point I choose within range. The range is 90. But
I see.
So within 20
you can aim it in a way that it just gets those 2. Yeah. That's easy enough. Okay, yeah, they definitely. She had 10 hit points. He has like 5, so that definitely works. They both fall asleep. This guy was not. Do you wait until he like walks in the room?
Well, because he's like also.
Isn't that how they described it? Was he walked in the room? Was like everything okay?
Well, he like opened the door and like looked in.
I would.
Like how far? How close do you let him get before you try to drop the spell?
Close enough that he would be not like that. People wouldn't see him.
Wouldn't
fall
see him drown.
unconscious.
Yeah. This is gonna be a long shot, but I'm gonna have him make a perception check. If he crit succeeds, he notices you before you're ready. Right? Like he actually notices that something else is wrong, is gonna like raise an alarm. Nope. So yep, he steps in, he goes to sleep, Leandra goes to sleep, and then Audra just like carries her out.
Yeah, so then I turn us both invisible again.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And you just carry her out.
Yep.
So you will still have to get through the door. I can't imagine. You have spent way too long in here. There's no way that this guy does not notice that the door opens unless you can signal to Anna in some way. Like, you're going to have to figure out how to get out of here, unless you're just going to run. Just like open the door and just run out invisible.
I don't even
blast
need to
her
run.
invisible that we could go, a goose!
Yeah, basically the thing is, like, you're not going to be able, unless there's some way you can like distract this guy again, with not being able to communicate with Anna. He will notice the door open.
Wait.
There.
What if I had done the sleep spell in a way that knocks him out too?
That's what I was wondering.
I don't think the range works on that.
90 feet.
Well, no. It's 20 feet range. It's 90
From a
feet that I can
spot
put
you
it places.
choose. Oh man, I think you can barely do it. Okay, the trick here is luck save. Is he in that spot? Because if he's not in that spot, you can't do this.
Or I tried to do it and it didn't work,
exactly.
and I don't know.
Yes, exactly. Make a luck save.
And that's D10 plus proficiency.
It's
D20.
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 I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. You can roll a D10 if you want to. Nice. Yep. So you guys see this guy, and like to you, it looks like he's like writing on the ledger, right? And then what? Let's cut back to you guys. What have you guys done? Like, have you left at this point? Like,
I mean, I think I went through like hysterically sobbing, trying to do some breathing exercises to calm myself down. I was wiping my clothes with his shirt. So I think he maybe, once I put on a show of like, once I realized what I was wiping my clothes with, I was like, put your shirt back on.
Yeah.
And so I think he has like a kind of wine stained crumpled shirt on.
Yep.
And I have instead decided to make myself feel better by drinking straight from the bottle, so I didn't have to pour anything again.
Yeah, he like tried to like correct you, like be like, don't do that, and then he just like thought better of it.
So I'm instead just sipping from the bottle until
what is Abner doing?
Abner is done with his wine glass, and then
He's
will
looking
go.
at his empty wine glass, looking at the bottle, going like, I wanted more wine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
so
I think I'm just sipping on the bottle until I.
you just see him slump over his ledger, like.
And I think I just go.
to do that?
I don't think so, but I feel like that could only mean good things for us.
And then you hear the door, and Audryn slips through. And I think with your luck save, you got a 24. Like, there's not even like no one's looking at the door in the moment you open it and slip through, right? And you manage to close behind you just fine. Yep.
I closed the lock proper.
Yep.
And then can I, like, since the guy's asleep, can I like peek at what is written on the ledger?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for you, he just wrote like Anna, Blood Sisters, wants information on the Crimson Fleet, and then there's like other like things
but just
similar
like
to that.
just to get information about other people who want
Put a
information.
smiley face and a heart next to it.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead and make a investigation check.
Oh no.
This is mostly about speed, right?
Yeah. 15.
15's not bad. We can say you pick up one tidbit.
Okay.
Yeah. You notice, and maybe it's like just he was like flipping through the ledger again. to check something or whatever. He's not on the same page that you were on. So this is like a day or so ago in the ledger. You see 7th coil and interrogate woman, basically, right? And it seems pretty clear to you, like you can make induction. It sounds like the 7th coil captured Sayori at the red foam whaling and brought her here for interrogation, paying the Sisters of Lamentation to do so. And I think there's like red next to it, and basically just says, last payment unpaid. There's probably a better way to say that, but basically like they did not pay their last payment, will not release subject, basically.
That's an interesting take that they do. Instead of immediately releasing the subject and not getting any more information, they instead just don't release the subject. Can I leave 100 gold on the table and like write a note saying from 7th coil? To try and get Sayori released?
Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting.
I don't know if that would work at all.
Make a deception check.
Could
so
I
set that up properly?
Could I help with? Could I potentially roll this as like, let me do this because I've got.
Can I give you advantage? I'm trained in deception.
Yeah. Do you have? Yeah. I forget. Do you have?
I mean, hey, let's be real. I think the better way to do this, now that you have this information, is to leave now and have Vren come back as a UNT and pretend to give them the payment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there needs to be a roll here. Probably, I don't know, some sort of intelligence-based thing to guess what the payment would be, to like have the right amount, or at least approximate amount.
I could just bring in a bunch and say, "What do we owe you again?"
Sure, yeah, you can do it that way. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you guys sneak out and you have this information, and then Vren tries to sneak back in.
How did we manage to pull that off?
I don't know.
We ran away.
Very carefully.
So I think you get there and the guy who was there is not there. He's been replaced by a woman. And
wait, hold on, but we got to talk to Leandra.
No. This is going to be like a...
You will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chances are that might be happening next time or something because it's getting...
Yeah. I think it's the next... We can just like see how this goes, right? Mm-hmm. The time passes, you come back in, Vren, as a UNT, as a pureblood, right? A humanoid. And yeah, you come in and you're like, how much do we owe you?
Yeah, like just pop a thing of gold down on the table. I'm here for the woman.
Yeah. And yeah, the woman, not the woman, but this woman, nods and looks down, and it seems slightly. Actually, she's probably like charmed and doesn't really care as much. She's kind of blank, like she's not afraid like she should be. And she just says, almost mindlessly, "Your last payment was not received."
Yeah, what do you say?
"You're late."
"Filthy carriers, what do we owe you?"
Yeah, she looks back down the ledger and says, 3,000 gold, late fees and all.
How much gold?
Make an insight check, Vren.
16.
16's, well, I'll make a deception. Okay.
It's 3,000 apparently.
It's
It's 3,000.
I mean, we have it.
They're definitely way overcharging you and trying to see if they can get away with it, but Vren doesn't realize that.
Vren will look at his pouch, how because we thought it was going to be 100. So
the minimum fee is 100 GP per day.
Right. So
and we figured she was in here for at least one day because she was supposed to be here the other day.
This is way overpriced, but Vren has failed in knowing that that's the case. Because again, this is about like what information she had, how quickly they got it out of her. Maybe there was like they did the expedited fee, right?
Vren will storm out for a second, look back at the others, and it'll be funny because as a UNT, he'll be like, I need more gold.
Right, just like completely normal voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently they owe 3,000 for her.
God. What kind of information did she have?
I don't know.
I
Well, we
mean,
definitely don't
we
want
gotta
them
get
knowing.
her though.
Yeah, I'm like, fine, go get her.
Okay, so Vern will walk back in, slam the coin on the table, say, "Here's your money."
Very good. Pleasure doing business with you. Takes it. She'll be released to you momentarily. Please have some wine while you wait. This is
You
like the
just gotta
bottle's been
send her-
replaced. Yeah.
I don't drink your filthy human wine.
Very well. Yeah. Let me double check.
Here, let me subtract 3,000 gold from our,
Uh-huh.
our thing.
Right? How much? Okay, just out of curiosity, Caleb, how much? We could save it for the after party, the after thing. You have to let us know how much they actually overcharged us by.
Yeah, I mean, probably like 300 or something at most.
Oh, just that's.
Something like that. Like it was way more. It was like they like 10 times as much as you should have paid.
We didn't know, and
I mean,
they rolled a 20
right,
in
but
deception.
In this city, when you come to someone and say, "How much do we owe you?" They're like, "How much can I get out of you?" Right? Wow.
We have
blank
no
check.
way of knowing
Exactly.
though.
Yeah. That's the cost.
Well, I probably would have had a way of knowing, but it's not me in there, so.
All right, let me double check. I'm just double checking what specifically the seventh coil was trying to get out of her in the first place. Whether or not there's any details here that
Would it be the extra safe house?
Let's see. They're trying to uncover further details about her plans involving the Crimson Fleet.
I guess the thing is too, if we'd say we only owed you this much, we agreed on it. That's a more likely way to get found out that we're not really
Yeah.
who we
yeah.
say we are.
Yep. Yeah. So I think you did it, right? Like, oh no, make a deception check. Make a deception check. That still needs to happen. That's the last thing that needs to happen here. They'll take your money no matter what. But whether or not the sisters believe you, right?
Can I do something to get can I do something to get advantage?
Could I give him a Can we say I gave him a bardic this time
Yeah, that's
around
fine,
going in? Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
I have a
about
bardic
advantage,
and
but-
I have magical guidance. Is there anything else I could do?
Because part of this like has to do. You know what? Let's not do deception. Let's say persuasion. Because I think
They're
it's
the same for me.
possible. Yeah, it's possible that this is more about like convincing the sisters of limitation they've gotten everything they can get out of Sayori, and that it's worth it more to just let her go. But if you fail, it'll be like, actually, you know what? We're gonna use her for our own ends.
I'm trying to think of something I can do so I roll better.
No, I changed my mind. It's deception because they wouldn't.
It's the
cross
same roll
seventh.
for me.
Yeah, I know. I'm figuring out the reasoning here in my own mind. They wouldn't cross the seventh coil if they had legitimately paid. So it's just whether or not they believe you are seventh coil.
I can actually give him guidance this time.
You can be invisible.
It only lasts a minute. It only lasts one round though. It only lasts 6 seconds.
Oh, yeah,
It lasts a minute, and then
It
you
lasts
Oh, that's a
use
minute.
it.
Oh, I'm thinking of Pathfinder. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so if he hits you right before,
You
Right
want
like
before
when you
before
go
walk
in with
in.
the extra money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Trying to think of a way I could get advantage, but I cannot think of a legitimate way I could get advantage.
Yeah, I think your legwork so far has allowed you to make this roll. It doesn't necessarily make it advantage worthy.
I'm just gonna click it and see what happens.
All right.
Okay,
Hey,
we're good.
26.
We're good. Okay, now
Yep.
I roll another d4.
Real quick, I will have the Sisters of Lamentation make the insight. They don't have a trained insight.
I mean, you might as well.
Oh, I've already beat
Ooh.
it.
My
But
gosh.
But a d4.
break
and then-
30. Break 30.
I already broke
That's
30.
30.
D6 or D8 now for Bardic?
D6. It's always a D6 for me. I'm not taking any more levels. than that.
35.
Nice. Yep, they believe it. And part of it is like because you overpaid so much, they feel like they got the best out of that deal, and they don't question it at all. Right? They're like, "Oh, awesome! This works out so well for us." They think. There you go. Yep. And then Sayori, beaten and bruised at 1 hit point, gets tossed out to you guys. I make a luck save. this will determine whether or not they give you her gear as well.
Mm.
Oh wait, do they even have her gear? Let me check. She does not have her gear, so this doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. It makes sense that they would have taken it before handing her over her info.
Yeah, the seventh coil probably has her gear.
Probably. That makes sense.
So yeah, Sayori is does not have any of her magical items or whatever, but she has been released into your care. And honestly, we can probably call it there and do interrogate Sayori and Leandra next time.
I just like this idea that Fred carries her out, sees she's struggling and everything. They get outside, walk around a corner, and Fred just goes, I hate scales.
Yeah, like you shake.
So weird.
And the scales like flip back. Yeah.
And then Sayori just has this weird look on her face.
Taekwei's just like, hello, Sayori.
Yeah, and she spits into the dirt. She says, nice to see you too.
You're welcome.
You're very expensive, woman. You better have been worth it. He doesn't actually say that. He doesn't.
Okay, all right. I do think the last thing we see though is we'll get a flashback to Leandra getting just the immediate moment where you managed to carry her out, Audrin, and you like lay her down, and we'll say like this is her coming to after the sleep spell wears off, right? And like you guys have gone to a safe place. You're waiting for Vren to go back and do the thing. You're in like some abandoned house, and Tolan is like by her side, like holding her hand, like while she's like still sleeping. And when she wakes up, Leandra like blinks and it says, Tolan. And then Tolan just like gives her a big hug and just says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I got you into this. And she like passes back and basically just says, it's all right, Tolan. It's all right. And she like looks at the rest of you and says, we have good friends. And then Tolan like pulls away from her and just like grabs her face and just like kisses her on the forehead, just like a big kiss on the forehead, like I'm so glad you're safe, sort of a thing, right? And then we can cut there. Congratulations, you managed to get through that whole thing without having to fight the harpies.
That was wild. And I mean,
it was going to be a whole thing,
to pay
right?
them. We're gonna go back. So
wow, did we just speed run another dungeon? How did we do that?
Through the power of money.
I mean, hey, Aldrin got to do his like prison break thing, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Do you guys want to know?
That whole sequence with Audrin was so cool.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Do you guys want to know
clever.
what my other plan to get Sayori out was?
Yeah.
Let's find it out in an after show. Yeah. We'll go ahead and call it here for today's episode. We'll be back next time with more. And not Terra Invicta next week. I think we're doing Legacy next week, but we'll be back next Thursday. All right. We're out. Adios.